I've used the iPad Pro 2021 about 6 hours every day for a little over a month now, and today I'll be answering, is the M1iPad Pro worth it? Tony here. This channel is all about art and design tech. If that's something that you like, consider subscribing. Let's get into the review. Without a doubt, the 2021 iPad Pro is the most overpowered iPad known to man, at least on paper. Specifically, the 12.9-inch model with 1 terabyte of storage, 16 gigabytes of RAM, the M1 chip, and that mini LED screen is pretty power-packed. I use the iPad Pro every day for productivity, content creation, and creative work. So this review will be based on 6+ hours of daily use. If you're excited, give this video a like. First impressions, the build of the M1iPad Pro is very similar to the older models of the iPad. It's still in an all aluminum body with an edge-to-edge screen that gives you the room to create to your heart's content. While unboxing the M1iPad Pro, I found myself excited to see what the mini LED screen had to offer, and it didn't disappoint. For truly creative workflows, it offers a brighter, more color-accurate display. The mini LED screen gives up to 600 nits of brightness. That's greater than OLED, and if you're wondering, what does OLED look like? Look out your window, and that's basically what OLED looks like. The mini LED screen shines brightest inside and appears to work best in inside conditions. I've noticed when taking the iPad outside, even at the highest brightness, the screen looks very dark, making it hard to work outside in direct sunlight and even in overcast. My creative workflow in the past included using a matte screen protector, although screen protectors have been known to add grain and distort the colors. It's a whole different level with the M1iPad Pro, making colors appear dull and lifeless. So I've removed my matte screen protector for the foreseeable future, okay? Click the video above for my full review on matte screen protectors like Paperlike. From using the M1iPad Pro for sketching, drawing studies, or adding colors to more completed pieces, I've noticed that the screen begins to heat up a bit. Not at an alarming high temperature, but definitely adding a bit of warmth. Around about 6 hours of constant use with the screen set to automatic brightness. I've noticed that the colors are also on another level with this year's model, making blacks appear as true blacks. This might seem subtle, but this is something that has never been the case with previous iPads, adding more contrast and color accuracy to the mini LED over the usual gray-looking blacks. Before the next section of this video, question of the day. Do you have an iPad Pro? And if so, what is your favorite app to use for your creative work? Leave it below in the comments. The M1iPad Pro has been reported to have a blooming effect in low light conditions. I can confirm that this is true, but from my testing, it's not as often as people are leading you to believe. While watching this YouTube video, I noticed when I pressed the full screen button, there was a glowing edge around the text above and below this video. After the video began playing, the mini LED dims and the blooming on my iPad Pro is no longer there. I did another test in Procreate in an all-black background with different lighting conditions, and at an angle, you can definitely see the blooming. However, at the upright angle, this blooming is not visible. I'm not saying blooming isn't a thing, but I really have to look for it to remember how mad it made me. The 1 terabyte of storage and 16 gigabytes of memory on the 12.9-inch iPad Pro surprisingly adds to my creative experience. It's been nice for adding literally as many reference photos that I want to my iPad, screenshotting countless inspirations left and right, creating mood boards in Concepts app without any worry of overloading the iPad. In Procreate, I've noticed that I'm able to add double the layers on larger canvas sizes, which has been great for my workflow, resulting in larger canvases and more crisp looking work after completion. The colors on my iPad Pro also match my 4K screen, so if I'm exporting files to my computer, the colors are consistent and very easy to work with. For example, when I test websites that I'm building on the iPad, the speed of moving from app to email to Google Doc to web browser to communicate with clients is very quick and easy when testing new features on the website. Near the end of my workday into the evening, I usually have to connect it to a charger to continue using it. This is a minor frustration because if I'm sitting on the couch using the iPad in portrait mode, the power button is right in my lap and can turn off. The camera is also on that same end, and from long-term use, I find I can lean over that camera, I can put my shirt on it by accident, and the screen dims, and that's frustrating. Most of this is due to the short cord that comes with the iPad Pro. However, adding an extension cord or just charging up midday can easily avoid this minor inconvenience, but it would be nice to have a wireless charging method to maintain the mobility that the iPad Pro is known for. When it comes to productivity, the Magic Keyboard is my best friend. These last few months have made me fall in love with the Magic Keyboard. The Magic Keyboard keeps my iPad upright and on display ready for work. I really enjoy the powerful magnets that keep the iPad in place and protected. It also connects the keyboard instantly, allowing you to begin typing right out of the box. The Magic Keyboard is not the greatest for wear and tear. The smooth matte filling surface is a magnet for fingerprints, and after handling it for a few hours out of the box, it looked like I had used it for a few years. I haven't really heard anyone mention this, but my Magic Keyboard looks pretty beat up after handling it, even though it's perched up on the desk most of the time. When this iPad Pro arrived, I ordered a second generation Apple Pencil as well, and I'm so glad that I did. The Apple Pencil is a must if you're going to have the full experience with the iPad Pro. Having great gesture control and response on the iPad's glass surface, making drawing feel easy and intuitive. However, I have noticed that the Apple Pencil tip in this Apple Pencil slips out of place from time to time, requiring me to screw it back in to continue drawing. Another minor annoyance right out of the box, but not enough to get me grumpy about it. Pro really defines the iPad Pro, and unless you need the color accurate display for design and creative work, more memory for loading, exporting, and airdropping files, or putting them on an external cloud, I don't see this iPad as an appealing option for non-creative workflows. Watch this video next to find out which M1iPad Pro you should buy.